This has got to be one of the most chilling lives I've ever watched. This wasn't just a grieving wife who was in pain. This was a rallying cry.
If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Her militant delivery is unsettling and worrisome. That kind of rhetoric galvanizes followers, and it will increase retaliatory mobilization. Her husband just died 2 days ago. Instead of calling for stop the violence, let's unite, what the hell is going on? We need to figure something out. This isn't the answer. She called for vengeance and more political violence. She ends every single sentence with that I don't give a fuck who gets hurt stare.
Charlie, I promise I will never let your legacy die, baby. I won't. I promise I'll make Turning Point USA the biggest thing that this nation has ever seen.
That was a warning, because history has shown us over and over that when tragedy meets militant rhetoric, movements will grow stronger and stronger. It needs to be stopped. While it wasn't a direct "we are at war with X," the effect of her words was to signal an us versus them fight. And that absolutely sounds like we're declaring war on anyone who disagrees with my husband's ideology. And holy cow, how she ended this. Terrifying.
Now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr.
They just caught Charlie Kirk's killer, but did they actually catch the right guy, or is this just someone they're using as a scapegoat? Now, let me remind you, everybody's fucking mad. Everybody wants the person who did it to be brought to justice. But is our anger fucking with our actual perception? Because the worst thing that could happen is that we don't catch the actual killer. Now, here's a detail people forgot about. 1 hour after the killing, a private jet that has been sitting there for an entire year took off from the airport right by the school and the university that he got killed at, has been sitting there for a year, turned off its transponder, which is illegal and very uncommon, and then turned it back on about an hour later. Where the fuck did that jet go, and who was on it? Second of all, they said that this man, this kid's father, turned him in. If you had a son and the fucking president literally said that he would kill the man, literally, you're going to get the death penalty if you're the one who killed Charlie Kirk, and that was your son who did it, would you rat out your son and turn him in? Absolutely not. Now, has the government ever blamed someone who didn't do this before? Well, let's look at JFK. JFK was supposedly killed by Lee Harvey Oswald, and before the man had a fair trial, before anything happened, someone else shot and killed him before he could even be interrogated. So, share this, because the truth is what we demand.
Charlie Kirk was no angel. Charlie Kirk said horrible things about black women, about black people, about George Floyd, about diversity, equity, and inclusion. He said racist, horrible things. He said sexist things about women. Nobody's taking glee in Charlie Kirk's death. As a matter of fact, the opposite. I believe the president of the United States, if he's going to address the nation or give a statement, it should be about gun violence and how we stop gun violence, not to make a hero out of Charlie Kirk. And so we have to be honest about who Charlie Kirk was without taking glee in the horrible tragedy that befell him yesterday.
Children were killed in Colorado yesterday in another separate shooting, and Donald Trump hasn't made a statement about that. But when I listened to Donald Trump's statement that he did make, he didn't talk about, like you said, gun violence. He painted this glorious picture of Charlie Kirk, which you have already pointed out, is not accurate. And then he talked specifically about the radical left. The way that he's using this for political expediency, the way that he's addressing the nation when he doesn't address it for many other serious topics, the way he conveniently ignores everything to go immediately after Charlie Kirk was great and the radical left did this, the words that he is saying is inciting more violence.
Charlie Kirk has died because of gun violence, and only seconds before he got shot and killed, he was talking about shootings. In fact, he was condemning trans people literally seconds before getting shot. He has been quoted for repeatedly saying that he is okay with people getting shot as long as we retain the Second Amendment. But he made it crystal clear right before he died that too many trans people have been responsible for shootings, even though it is less than 0.1% of all shootings. So even at his very end, he is focused on the wrong issue. And it is, of course, tragic for his family. And the way that he died is insurmountably painful. But how ironic that this man stood for the very thing that ended his life.
Should black people get reparations?
I believe they should.
So I, white man, have to play for black people. Why?
Wow, that's a really selfish thing you just said.
Hold on. Why should I have...
That's a really non-empathetic thing to say.
Wait, why should I have empathy for a race? I have white guilt because I breathe? Why should the white students here have to work harder to pay for black kids?
You wanted to ask
what is that all about?
Not every black person has lineage connected to slaves.
That's
and
true.
Every white person doesn't have lineage connected to slaves.
Yes, that's right. So since every black person doesn't have a lineage connected to slaves, why should we generalize and say reparations for black people?
Because there are people that are in a worse place.
So over 150 years, they didn't have any ability to make better decisions, to save money, and to invest. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?